Hello there, it's Heatwave 1 2 here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the top 5 character of fuck.
So yeah guys, this is going to be the top 5 specialist characters in Black Ops 3, and how this video is going to work out is basically I'm going to do a top 5 specialist characters, and this is going to work as a top 10 kind of thing. So I'll be ranking the specialist weapon out of 10, the specialist ability out of 10, and any aesthetics or any background information that are really cool or really interesting will of course be added to this top 5 specialist characters. So without any further ado and without wasting time, again, I just want to say, leave your top 5 in the comment section down below. I'd really love to see it, and subscribe if you're new around here. It is greatly appreciated. So coming in at number 5, we have Battery. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to read the background story from the Call of Duty wiki for every single character, because there are some really cool background stories of these characters. And first off, we got Battery. So the only daughter and youngest child of 5 siblings, Erin Baker always had a fight to get her own way, following in a family tradition of over 100 years of military service and watching her brothers enter the US Army one by one. She finally graduated from high school and enrolled herself. Driven to excel by an ongoing rivalry with her brothers, she volunteered for airborne school. Before crushing the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, heavily armored, she fearlessly operates ahead of the front lines, nimbly traversing urban environments as she destroys HVTs with salvos and advanced high explosive munitions. So I think all you guys know what the high explosive munition is. It is called the War Machine. So I gave the War Machine a 7 out of 10, and here's why. So the War Machine is definitely a very good specialist weapon, and very effective on game modes like Hardpoint and Domination, and maps like Nuketown and Combine. However, the reason why I gave it a 7 out of 10 and not any higher is because the grenades do have travel time, and this travel time can actually be quite long, and the grenades sometimes don't actually explode on impact and do have a slight delay on them, and of course you can obviously kill yourself with this War Machine, so that's obviously not very good. I gave the special ability a 6 out of 10 because I do believe kinetic armor is a very good specialist ability. However, it's not the greatest in my opinion. You can still get stabbed, you can still get blown up, you still get headshots, but it's very good for obviously getting bloodthirsty with snipers, which has really helped me out. I'm also at Diamond Snipers right now with we're just using kinetic armor, and it's actually really helpful. So I give kinetic armor a 6 out of 10. The background information and aesthetics, I kind of give it a 4 out of 10 because the background information, as you guys can tell, is not very interesting. It's kind of run-of-the-mill, kind of boring kind of background information. Again, Battery is a very cool looking specialist character. She definitely looks badass and looks really cool, but overall she seems kind of bland in my opinion, and I gave it a 4 out of 10. So coming into number 4, we have Ruin. So Ruin, born into a military family and raised in a tough neighborhood, Donnie Walsh grew up fearless and headstrong. Joining the army straight out of high school, Walsh is an infantry soldier through and through. The battlefield has become his second home. So I gave the specialist, the specialist weapon an 8 out of 10. I think all you guys know why. Gravity spikes are so OP and so easy to use that they're just absolutely unreal sometimes, and I gave it an 8 out of 10 because they're just absolutely unreal, and I do love them. I gave a specialist ability a 6 out of 10 because of course overdrive can be very useful in a lot of situations, especially game modes like uplink, and if you want to get to to the B domination or something like that, overdrive can definitely be very useful, especially now G-Style has been patched. I gave the aesthetics and background a 4 out of 10 because Ruin and Battery seem kind of similar in my opinion to looks and background, because it's kind of very boring background information compared to the top 3 and just doesn't seem that very interesting. Again, aesthetically, Ruin looks like the male version of Battery in my opinion. They look kind of similar, and again, they definitely both look badass and looks definitely really cool and do fit the Black Ops 3 kind of scene and theme. But again, I gave it another 4 out of 10. Not too fantastic, but again, Ruin is definitely a very good specialist character. So coming in at number 3, and this is going to be one of the coolest background stories of them all. So it is Reaper. So Reaper, the product of a cutting-edge military R&D project to supplement special operations in the field, Experimental Robot 115 was one of the single-unit advanced prototype combat robots running the most sophisticated AI software ever seen. Reaper, at least according to Prophet, displays signs of sentience while running the diagnostic run, was discovered to have an aftermarket modification that gave him orders from an unknown source. These orders were coming from an administrator-level source, and Reaper was unable to disobey the orders. Prophet removed the coding from him and replaced it. After this, it was learned that a group who stole a modified Reaper were running an underground gambling ring, paying out and betting astronomical sums over the machine's body count. Reaper arrived at the ring and unable to shut down due to Prophet's removal of the captor's coding. Reaper slaughtered the ring members and became a free agent. So that is going to be one of the coolest kind of background stories, because we find out that Reaper kind of turned back on his creators and disobeyed orders, and it's kind of like really cool. And if you guys don't know, Prophet is one of the other specialist characters, so they do have kind of a link there, which is definitely really awesome. I gave the specialist weapon a 9 out of 10 because everyone knows this Cypher is unreal. It kind of has been nerfed, you know, throughout Black Ops 3. You know, it went to 160, then it went to 120, but it's still very, very good and very good for holding down points, and just an all-round definitely an amazing specialist weapon. I gave his ability a 5 out of 10 because I do believe Psychosis is very easy to spot. It's not very, you know, it's not the same anymore because everyone with kind of, you know, who's kind of paying attention can realize which one's a real guy and which one's kind of a Psychosis bot. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. Aesthetics and background, I gave a 10 out of 10 because it is the best robot backstory and the best backstory for all 9 specialist characters. And I mean, it's a freaking robot, for God's sake. It's such a cool aesthetic look. I love what Black Ops 3 did. It kind of fits into the 2065 theme in this game, and I really do love Reaper for its aesthetics and its background information. So coming in at number 2, we have Firebreak. So Firebreak, a Prague-born Christoph Hedrick, I really think I butchered that name, is a battlefield problem solver. Armed with a powerful arsenal of weaponry, he effectively resolves numerous issues over and over again using his favorite tool, fire. When it's direct one-on-one confrontation or the strategic denial of areas, there is no questioning Hedrick's utility, even if the results of his work can be hard to stomach. Working up close and personal with flame is something that has very few volunteered to do, but Hedrick thrives on it. He and fire appear to have a common to an understanding, usually calm and dispassionate. The only time he truly lights up is when his enemies do. So we can definitely tell that Christoph loves his fight, and his specialist weapon is Firebreak, as all you guys know. So we gave Firebreak a 9 out of 10 because I do believe Firebreak is one of the best specialist weapon. I put it at number 2 on my top 5 specialist weapons, and I do believe it's got to be one of the best specialist weapons because you just have to get a hit marker with the Firebreak and they're dead. That's so easy. The only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 because it does take a slight amount of time to actually for them to burn, and in that time they can possibly kill you, so that's kind of that's kind of sucks. But I gave this special ability a 7 out of 10. So, Heatwave. I said a long time ago on one of my top 5 worst specialists, I said Heatwave was a bad specialist, but I really regret saying that now because I've used Heatwave. I used it a lot when I do my sniper diamond kind of camo hunt and going for dark matter, and it's so good, very good strategically, and I do love Heatwave now. It's so good. 7 out of 10. Again, it's not the best specialist ability in my opinion, but I do believe it's a very good one. Aesthetics and background. It's a biohazard suit, so it's definitely really cool and definitely fits the Black Ops 3 theme. It's kind of a pretty cool, you know, average backstory. It's not as bad as the Ruin or Battery, but definitely not as cool as Reaper or Spectre. And I really do love Firebreak for what it is, and it's just definitely a very cool specialist. And he comes in at number 2. So I just said it. So basically, Spectre is at number 1. So I'm going to read the description first. Next to nothing is known about the presumed wetwork specialist Spectre. The designated itself as a codename agreed upon the various agencies that have pulled their intelligence on unsolved assassinations, inferring his or her existence based on either evidence found at the scene or from fragmentary reports given by shaken bystanders. Despite its heavy reduction, all accounts suggest an individual capable of extraordinary stealth, able to evade or neutralize most sophisticated or manned or automated security setups. In every case, Spectre's victims have been handled with surgically precise midline wounds with rarely any signs of struggle. So Spectre is the stealthiest and kind of the least known specialist character of all of them. I'm going to give the weapon a 10 out of 10 because I've said this before, I absolutely love the Ripper specialist. Not only how long it takes to get, it's like 1 minute 50, which is so quick. Just the fact of how effective it is, you can basically get a free Commando Pro all the time. It's so good for knifing people, and when you use like snipers or like long range weapons, Spectre, the Ripper just helps so much. I gave the ability a 4 out of 10, and here's why. I don't personally like active camo for what it is. It's kind of, well, first off, it lasts 5 seconds, which is not very long, and I can't find it very useful in most situations, and so I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's not the best specialist, it's one of the worst in my opinion, but Ripper just makes it. Again, aesthetics and background, I have a really cool psychedelic gear, which just makes Spectre look unreal, and you know, it's one of the best looking specialists. You know, how stealthy and how cool he looks. You can't get a better looking specialist than Spectre, and again, he has a really cool background story, not as cool as Reaper in my opinion, but definitely one of the best ones. So again, that is the top 5 specialist characters in Black Ops 3. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you could hit that like button, that would be greatly appreciated, and as always guys, thanks for watching.